Welcome back to the Ask the Advisor series. I'm Josh Bradley with Capital City Financial Partners, and today's question is around how can I minimize my probate costs? And I'd probably add another question is how can I minimize the time frame of probate as well? But what is probate? So probate just happens once you pass away. Any assets that do not have a beneficiary listed or are not already in trust have to flow through probate, which is usually administered by the county. Those assets are then broken up based on what they think you would want. Usually there's a will there to help them with that, but there can be time lapsed as well as cost if your assets go through probate. And so most people, they want their money to free flow immediately and as efficiently to the people they care about, their churches, their causes, without having to go through probate. So the big thing here is how can I avoid probate so that we can move those assets cheaper or free, as well as quicker as well. The first thing is very simple. Just if you name beneficiaries on all your accounts, so your IRAs, your 401ks, your life insurance, basically everything of value, if you list a beneficiary on those accounts, those assets move almost immediately to those beneficiaries listed, and those assets do not go through probate. If you have an old 401k where you didn't list an IRA or a beneficiary, that's an asset that would have to go through probate. So just making sure everything has beneficiaries. A little word of caution there, we see this a lot, is maybe you had an old 401k 20 years ago that you established a beneficiary. However, the person you wanted to leave to may have changed in the past 10 or 20 years. So it's a good thing to go through your beneficiaries at least once a year, just to make sure that there's no old stragglers that you don't want to have that money moved to. The second thing is if you do change your mind, you want to make sure you go through all of your accounts to update those beneficiaries. The second simple rule is if not beneficiaries, you want to add things like TOD or joint rights of survivorship. So if you're owning an account with joint tenants or joint rights of survivorship, those assets will move to the other owner immediately without having to go through probate as well. The third strategy is either give it all away, so you could begin to give these assets away prior to your death, or you can spend it all. If you spend all your money and have a fun time, there won't be any assets left over, but you want to make sure you don't spend it all before you run out of money, okay? So don't spend it all and then have to live years and years without income in retirement. The problem with giving it away is tough as well. You can begin to give assets to your kids, grandkids, or whoever you want now, or churches and charities. You just want to make sure that you don't need those assets to sustain your standard of living ongoing. The second thing is you want to be careful giving certain assets to your family or individuals. Certain assets like real estate have tax benefits when you pass away. And a lot of times you don't want to give up those tax benefits just to get it to them quicker. So be very careful with giving it away. And the last option is a trust. A trust is a different legal document that you can go ahead and place assets into it now so that those assets avoid probate at death. So you can put all kinds of assets into a trust that will once again avoid probate. So once again, multiple strategies to avoid probate. I don't always say we want to avoid it at all costs. There's a cost benefit to each of these strategies, but there are simple things just to make this as much more simple and efficient process, especially after you pass away, your loved ones are already dealing with a lot of other stuff. The last thing we want to do is leave them with a lot of confusion and additional work to go through with probate. With that being said, I hope that was beneficial to help understand those ways to reduce your probate cost as well as time.